Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, gratefully recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. How is everybody today, guys? Just getting myself warmed up. What a cold, raw day. As I mentioned yesterday, I had a lot of no heat calls come in, so I know I had a very busy day today. And it actually went really well. I was amazed. I'm constantly amazed at how much different I'm able to manage my life today being sober. Not only being sober, but doing the work, just challenging myself to follow the principles, to apply these things in my life. And guys, it just literally changes every aspect. Like, I'm completely, I don't even feel like I'm the same person. I'm the person I was always meant to be, not the person I was being. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. Big part of getting there was for me was identifying and then removing all the defects of character that I was allowing to basically be my personality. And as much as that can be a tough statement to say, when you get on the other side of it, it's just shocking. I would have never believed for a second that it was all my character defects that were creating the chaos and the shitstorm and repeating nightmares that I was living day in and day out. But now that I've let them go, it's amazing, guys. You don't understand. Like, things that I never even began to believe were possible for myself are just daily occurrences, because as I let go of character defects, I'm able to let character strengths take over, and they just open like new possibilities and new doors and new avenues and just everything beautiful, guys. Doesn't mean life is a playground or a daily party. No, it's a struggle. Life is tough. It's cold as hell. I work outside, inside. I'm all over the place. I've got a lot of responsibilities. Like, I work hard, but you know what? It's actually propelling me forward today, and it's giving me opportunities, and it's giving me a sense of satisfaction and all these beautiful things. And it's because I've been able to identify and let go of my character defects. In order to do so, guys, you've got to call them what they are. So it's the reading today, guys. Calling a defect a defect. When we see how our defects exist in our lives and accept them, we can then let go of them and get on with our new life. Sometimes our readiness to have our character defects removed depends on what we call them. If misnaming our defects makes them seem less defective, we may be unable to see the damage that they cause. And if they seem to be causing no harm, then why would we ask our higher power to remove them from our lives? Take people pleasing, for example. It doesn't really sound all that bad, does it? It just means we're nice to people, right? Well, not quite. To put it bluntly, it means we are dishonest, manipulative, we lie about our feelings, our beliefs, and our needs, trying to soothe others into compliance with our wishes. Or perhaps we think we are easygoing, but does easygoing mean we ignore our housework, avoid confrontations, and stay put in a comfortable rut? Then a better name for it would be laziness, procrastination, and or fear. Many of us have trouble identifying our character defects. I know I did in the beginning. And if this is true for us, we can talk with our sponsor or trusted friends in recovery. We clearly and honestly describe our behavior and ask for their help in identifying our defects. As time passes, we'll become progressively better able to identify our own character defects, calling them by their true names. And the affirmation is, just for today, I will call my defects by their names. If I have trouble doing this, I will ask someone I trust for help. Again, guys, readings are amazing, right? And again, this is one of those really uncomfortable situations where it requires honest introspection. And this is why I've been, and the beauty of this, guys, if you go back, it's basically the same message I've been saying all along, but the beauty, and this is just one more reason to believe in these readings. As I continue to do these readings every day, I'm able to better identify things that I were doing that were working that I didn't necessarily know the clinical names for and whatnot, but I'm also walking proof that they work. My situation changes constantly, and that's beautiful. Like, I'm able to grow and expand as my world grows and expands. I'm able to answer the call for more and more work and better pay, and I feel more confident. Charging. I was actually at a job this morning. I drove all the way out to Westwood as a regular customer. little on the cheap side, but he always pays me what I ask. Good guy, we got a good relationship, and I went over there. And this was a system that somebody added to, basically, it's a house where they put a big slab addition on the back. And they took hot water radiators, which are underpiped because they're only 1/2 inch and they should be 3/4. And what was at one point a 3-foot long radiator, they added a 30-foot baseboard loop on it. And he's got me over there trying to, figure out why there's no heat coming out of it. And I initially figured the first thing we do is we purge it, see if it gets warm, and the rest of the system I got working really well, but that baseboard loop was not heating up. And my immediate thought is, well, let's put a bleeder on it so we can get the air out of it, because I suspect it's not. But then today I'm able to look at it further and like, well, purging it, I should have got some heat out of it. Let me look a little further. And as I look further, I realize that basically the person that installed it just completely blew it. Like it's just not going to work. So rather than, in the old days, they're like, well, let me racking my brain and thinking, how am I going to confront this, and how can I can't upset this guy, I'm not going to get paid for this call. No, I just pulled him aside and like, Brian, we got kind of an issue here. And I'm like, and then rather than asking, I kind of put it to him. Let me guess, this has never worked since you've owned this house, huh? And he goes, oh, how'd you do that? And I'm like, well, it's designed all sorts of wrong. And now, while I was there, the baseboard loop ends in the bathroom, and I could hear the water running in the toilet. So I pulled the lid off the tank, and sure enough, the toilet valve was bad. It's overflowing, and it's siphoning water, and it's going to cost them a ton of money. So I said, well, listen, and while we're standing here, that's no good. He said, oh, is that something you do? I said, yeah, of course it is. No problem. As a matter of fact, I keep a part on my truck because it's a very common thing. So I ended up fixing that. So therefore, boom, that just saved me the service. I made my service call for driving out there, and then I didn't have to charge him for diagnosing the heating system. And I'm like, if you want, because here's the thing, guys, it's a finished basement. There's no access, to do anything with this system. And the thing is, if I start messing with it, I've got to make sure it's going to work. And just cutting a bleeder in, now that I understand that because when it comes out of the floor, it's actually 3/4 pipe like it's supposed to be. I was able to get a flashlight up in a crawl space and see it was undersized below that. And I'm like, Brian, there's almost 40 feet of baseboard there. You can't run that on 1/2 inch, and especially off of a 1/2 inch monoflow T, which is getting specific. But anyway, I'm able to see what's going on today, guys, because I've done so much work removing my character defects, understanding that one of my issues was I would underdiagnose because I'm really good at it, and I'm really I'm usually right. But these are the situations where you've got to do the extra work and catch the fact that somebody put a system in that's not going to work. Now, and just coming in and doing a normal fix or a normal upgrade, a bleeder might get it flowing, but it's not guaranteed to. And I'm not going to go in there and sell a job and then do it and then get stuck looking like an idiot at the end when there's still no heat coming out of this thing. And I have the comfort level doing that today. And I was prepared because normally I could have easily charged him to diagnose it, but he's a regular customer. He gives me a lot of work. And it was nice that I didn't have to do that. And then further, and again, I turn this over to God, and God makes sure I'm paying attention because I was prepared to eat that time, knowing full well I'm going to make it up on other jobs with this guy. It gives me a lot of work, and this is his personal home. I would have felt better just saying, listen, there's a problem. Let me figure out what I can do, and we'll come back and tackle it when I know I can make something work for you. Because clearly we're going to have to do something here. It's a big, beautiful family room that's not getting any heat, and it's on a slab, so it's going to stay pretty cold in there. And again, because I was doing the right thing, all of a sudden, lo and behold, boom, here's a quick, easy fix that's going to make me my service call. And now I'm not even wasting my time going out there, and I'm not to waste time because I'll get the job to do it, but I'm even making money on the time that I spent out there that I was going to turn around and donate to him, guys. It's a beautiful thing. But that's not how this would have gone. Like, even in early recovery, I probably wouldn't have caught that because I hadn't, at that point, identified that particular character defect. It was still how I was operating. So as I'm able to identify my character defects, guys, if you don't know it's a defect, you might just excuse it. You might prep it up and say, this is how I get X amount, like this. We can come up with so many different ways of misnaming our defects. But when you do so, you don't grow. And that's the thing, guys. We don't understand how much better a life is waiting for us out there until we actually start doing this to the best of our ability. Like, and I don't know how I was fortunate enough to get so deep into it this time, but I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And it's something I named early on. I'm like, I don't know everything that's going to happen. I don't pretend to, and I know that if I turn it over to God and just do everything He puts in front of me to the best of my ability, it will continue to grow and get better. And boom, here we are. 11 months in, and my life has changed in ways that I was unable to do for 30 years. Like, literally, guys, I've changed the trajectory. Never mind my daily life, because that's easy to change when you stop doing drugs, but I've continued to expand and have the faith to continue to step up. Guys, early on, one of my defects was a little bit of laziness. Like, I was starting to get comfortable, taking it easy and resting and not taxing myself. And I was, I'm making better money now, so I was able to do so early on. Yet, as I sat there and looked, I said, no, that's not who I am. Like, I'm not somebody, I'm a grown adult starting a business. What am I doing working 30 hours a week? Like, that's being lazy. Like, if I have the opportunity to work, now in days that I'm tired, and I know it's 20 degrees out when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I still get up, right? And again, I get up and I hit my knees and I pray. And because I've taken the time to identify all these defects that I had and then work on them, guys, as soon as I identify them, I'm able to, the cognitive ability is come back to me so much, I'm able to look at ways to overcome them. And that's really all it takes, guys. Defects of character are basically behaviors that we're doing. Some of them are very deeply ingrained, but once we identify them, that allows us to talk to God and turn that over to Him and ask Him to remove it. And then you'll wake up the next morning having understood that you just asked to do that. So as you start to do that behavior, you realize, well, I'm doing something I just asked God to help me stop doing. And if you have any kind of faith and any kind of desire to do better and any kind of willingness, as you identify it, if you're doing things right, and that's where, again, this is why they all come in hand, guys, because then you use your pause. You stop and say, well, is this a behavior I want to continue doing? Is this what I want to do? Well, no, clearly it's not, because I just had a conversation with God about removing that from my life. Okay, so what do? Well, let's meet Him halfway and make a better decision. Like, some may say it seems silly and basic, but you know what? This is what's changed my life, guys, for real. Like, and the funny thing is, like, back in the day, I had this, falsely inflated sense of ego that I would never have admitted any of this, and then I didn't give it any credence. Like, I thought meditation was a joke. Prayer was something that scared me, because occasionally when I would do it, I'd get the wrong result because I was looking for the wrong action. Like, no, I turned all that over, guys. I let go of my defects, and just in doing so, they freed up all this energy. So now I get to start practicing being a better person, listening to other people, considering other people's point of view, and literally, guys, it's changed my world and allowed me to find who I really am. Because you know what? As I've done these things, it's become very, very easy, and I still catch myself. There's still moments. People ask me to do something, I don't have the time, and I realize before I respond negatively, I understand, like, no, that's something I offered to take care of, or this is how I want to behave, and if I can't do it now, then just be honest, and that's literally all it takes. I can't be expected to do everything for everybody at any given moment. Right now, I have certain responsibilities through contract, and I take care of those, and I'll go out at any hour of the night to take care of that because I'm paid very well to do that. But beyond that, I just have to let somebody know, hey, listen, I'm extremely busy right now. This is the responsibilities that I have. I'll be happy to help you out if you're willing to, wait for an opportunity for me to have the opportunity. If not, do what you got to do. I'm not here. I can't save everybody. I'm here to make the biggest impact I can. But first and foremost, I've got to put my needs first. And that was another defect of character that I had. I always was incredibly guilty of people pleasing, and I would put everybody else's needs first because at the time I believed that made me a good person. It made me selfless, and it made me dependable, and it made me reliable. No, it didn't, because the second the drug dealer didn't answer the phone, I didn't answer my phone for anybody else either. I wasn't reliable. I was people pleasing. And I couldn't sustain any of it because I was putting other people's needs before my own. So how in God's name is that ever going to sustain? Because then when I have, when my resources run out and I haven't addressed my needs yet, I'm not available for anything, right? Guys, it's amazing how they go hand in hand. When you do them right, when you do them the way they're laid out, and when you do them to the best of your ability in blind faith, the results will shock you. Because again, while we're walking in our defects, we don't understand the ways that they're holding us back. God does. He knows what's going to happen when you turn that over and when you start letting go of that defective character. And it starts by identifying them, guys. Do so with somebody trusted, whether a mental health professional, a doctor, a therapist, sponsor, speaking openly in an anonymity protected group, or just somebody you trust, somebody that you think wants the best for you and isn't going to yes you to death and will be honest with you. And then talk to your higher power and ask him for help in doing so, if for no other reason than by speaking it out loud. You're reminding yourself the next time you start to do that defect. You're going to remind yourself that that's not what you want to be doing, that's not how you want to be acting, and it's not what's going to propel your life to where you want it to get to, or need to get to, or just desire. Guys, the program works if you work it. Life can be beautiful if you let it, and all your defects of character can be replaced with beautiful, positive characteristics if you identify and let them go. Fastest, easiest way I found, the only way I found, is through my higher power, whom I choose to call God. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.